What is up, everyone? It's Greg-tastic, and I am back again with another video. Let me tell you guys something about this mic before we even start this video. I remember I started the channel like 4 years ago. The stuff was rough, man. The stuff was rough. If I put a fan or an air conditioner on, I didn't know how to edit the the audio so that you couldn't hear it. Go listen to the videos like 4 or 5 years ago. There used to be all this background noise, all this craziness. I didn't understand that we got to make love to the microphone and not like the microphone. I used to always have the microphone far away from me, and then I found out like if you have a halfway decent mic, it should be up close to you. Like you don't have to make love to it unless you want. But I actually tried to record this video 2 minutes ago, and I stopped it because there was an airplane going overhead, and I started talking to the airplane. I was all pissed off. And then I went and listened to the recording, and you can't even hear the airplane. And I was like, Greg, we have come such a long way from the days of background noise and interruptions to where now we just talk about the interruptions because the audience can't even hear it. But anyway, on to today's video. We're going to do something new today. I do not know. I was going to say I don't know how many of you know what the WWF Attitude Era is, but basically, like the late 90s is the peak popularity of the WWF, which is now known as the WWE. And one of the most popular wrestler from that time, and one of my favorite wrestlers, although I do have to give most of the members a DX ranked above him just for personal reasons, is Stone Cold Steve Austin. Although, even though I did like D-Generation X back in that time, Stone Cold for me has kind of elevated his status in previous years because he has a podcast. He has many things that he does on the side where he's still relevant, even though it's been about 19 years since he's wrestled. But the purpose of the video today is I've been listening to Stone Cold Steve Austin's podcast probably since I started my YouTube channel, if not before then. And one thing that he always talks about that I was never able to try is his beer. He has his own beer. It's in front of me right now. I'm not going to show it to you yet because we have to jazz up the reveal, but it's by El Segundo Brewing Company, and it's called Stephen. How are you gonna mess up the pronunciation? You know what it is I'm gonna be honest with you. I got a little nervous making the videos, so like I know the name of the beer, but I'm staring at the beer can like don't fuck it up, don't fuck it up, don't fuck it up. So let me not stare at the beer can. It's Steve Austin's Broken Skull IPA. I'm not a huge IPA fan, but here's the thing is I thought growing up, I wasn't drinking as a 12-year-old, but growing up and then rediscovering Steve Austin through his podcasts, I thought me and him would have a similar taste in adult beverages. Although I was later surprised to find out that he drinks wine and margaritas and other things because I just thought he drank Steve Weisers. But needless to say, I love Stone Cold. I love listening to his podcasts, and he would always be promoting his Broken Skull IPA beer in his podcast. The thing is that Stone Cold Steve Austin and apparently El Segundo Brewing Company is located out on the West Coast. Although, looking at this can now, it says Virginia Beach, Virginia. I'm wondering if that is something that is why I'm able to buy this now. Because 4 or 5 years ago when I first started hearing about it, I heard that it was available on the West Coast, like around where he lived. But I could never find it in stores. Even now, I just happened across it in a store. I wasn't looking for it, and I don't ever really see it, although I'm not always looking for special things like that. But I happened across it in a store in New Jersey, and I said, holy shit, I gotta buy this, and I gotta uh, tell the people on YouTube what I think about it. Not only because this is like a special beer for me to try and tell you guys what I think, but I just thought it would be cool. I like to drink beer. I'm not a beer snob or something like that, but I appreciate beer, and I just thought I'll do a review of this beer. We'll see how it goes. Maybe we'll review some other beers. If you watched my video earlier today, I randomly got a Beck's, and I've never tried Beck's, and I understand Beck's is probably not some crazy beer to not have tried, but you know, there's still a lot out there to discover. On with the reveal. We have right here El Segundo. Wait, let me do like a more El Segundo Steve Austin Broken Skull IPA. This is a 16-ounce can. It's a sick. Look, the can is sick. It feels just stronger and more special than normal cans. Steve Austin on there. You got the Broken Skull. What more could you want? Well, before I drink the beer, let me just say that I don't know what the prices are like throughout the country, but where I bought it, 4 of these cans were $14 in tax. It was $13.99 in tax, which for me, I only have 185 subscribers, and I only get like, I mean, it's admit to my faults. I don't upload many videos, but I don't get that many views. I have under 200 subscribers. I'm not making money on this channel. So me buying this beer to review on the channel, let me do the calculations. My net loss for this year on my YouTube channel is $15. $13.99 and tax for a 4-pack of 16-ounce beers is kind of hefty. If you're out in California, I've been to California, and I wasn't there recently, but your prices are outrageous. If you're out in California, you may be thinking that $13.99 plus tax for the 4-pack is a steal, but out here in New Jersey, which I understand is not even the best place to live in the country for expenses or whatever, it's hitting your wallet a little hard for some beer. But I had the beer on ice. The reason I had the beer on ice is because of another wrestler by the name of Arn Anderson. Arn Anderson also has a podcast, and in his podcast, he says that there's cold beer and then there's ice cold beer. And I agree with him, so I had it on ice. It's very cold, even though it's been sitting here while I've been talking. And the first thing that we're going to do, I do have a glass. Well, before I even get into that, let me tell you that this is not going to be, if you want a beer, like Google beer reviews, you can find a real beer review. This is not going to be a real review where I'm like, 7 out of 10, the hops were too hoppy and the low was too high and the high was too low and it smelled, I don't know. There's sites for that. I'm sure there's other YouTubers for that. This is just like a fun little video where I talk some shit, I try the beer, I give you a yay or nay, and we move on with our lives. And if you don't like that, you don't have to watch the fucking video, alright? Like, I'm not trying to be rude, but, like, this, maybe I should have said that at the beginning of the video. It's okay, though, because I don't want to waste any more of your time. So, I have a glass, because even though I'm not a beer snob, and even though this is not a real review, I do understand that beer tastes better out of a glass than out of a can. But this is a fucking Broken Skull IPA. This is fucking Stone Cold Steve Austin, the motherfucker that used to go out to the ring, double fist beers, get more of it on his shirt and his face than in his mouth. So I would be doing a disservice to the beer and Stone Cold Steve Austin and the Attitude Era if I didn't try it out of the can before I poured it into the glass and tried it. I'm not thinking that it's gonna taste as well out of the can as the glass, but that's why we're gonna do both. And Steve Austin is about the working man. If you can't drink your fucking beer out of a can, what can you do? So I'm gonna put this right up next to the microphone so we could get that click sound. Ooh, I like that sound. And I'm not a big fan of IPAs, but so like just opening the can, yeah, it hits you with that weird, funky IPA smell. But it's not like I've never enjoyed an IPA. It's not my go-to. But it's okay. I'm gonna prepare myself. I'm gonna get the taste buds ready. I'm gonna take a sip. It turned into like 3 sips. This might be something that you would say out of an IPA in general, but it tastes more like a cold weather beer. And it's August. It honestly, I don't know if this is gonna make sense or not, but it tastes like it doesn't taste. I've never eaten a pine needle off a Christmas tree. I promise you, I've never eaten one. But if you could imagine something tasting like the flavor of a pine needle off a Christmas tree out of the can, that's kind of what it tastes like. I know there's gonna some beer snob or someone is gonna come on and be like, "What the fuck are you talking about? How can a beer taste like a Christmas tree?" I don't know, because it can. Now let me pour my beer before you get me in a fucking bad mood. Ooh, baby. I should have done that. There you go. I was tilting it. Don't worry. But I did want to get it on camera. I just didn't realize that I wasn't getting it on camera. Whew. So, I don't. It's got a bit too much head, so I'm going to let it go down a little bit. I'm all up on top of the microphone. Hopefully the audio levels aren't bumping you guys' ears. Out of a can, I didn't hate it, but I have a feeling it's gonna. Even though Steve Austin drinks his beers out of a can and he's for the working man, I have a feeling it's gonna taste better out of a glass. So get that the fuck out of here. All right, look at that. Now that looks beautiful. Look at that actually looks nice. Whew. Baby. All right, let's go. I like it. And I don't like there's that. I still think there's a Christmas tree aftertaste. If anyone has drinking this beer or drinks the beer after watching this video, let me know if you know what I'm talking about, that it tastes like a pine needle. But I like the beer. Overall, I like it, but here's my issue. We're talking about Stone. I feel like Stone Cold has sold out and made an expensive beer that is for snob. I'm not gonna wait. Let me take it back. I'm not gonna say it's for snobs, but I feel like it's an expensive beer, and I feel like it's the type of thing that you pour in a glass and you savor, which is the total opposite of the Stone Cold that I know. The Stone Cold that I know takes 2 cans double, and now we have this beer. I feel like I felt like I had to try it again. It's still good. It's not bad. But for $14 for a 4-pack, I won't say I'll never purchase it again, but it'll be a special. But Stone Cold Steve Austin, if you come across this video, don't feel like I'm being negative towards your beer. It's a good beer. I just feel like you're a man of the people. You're the working man, right? When you open a beer, you say, here's one for the working man. So don't give me a Stone Cold Stunner, because I'm on your side. What I think you need to do is partner with someone to make a nice, cheap beer that is good tasting, crisp, refreshing, cold. Put it on that ice, have it taste great, but be at an affordable price for the working man. So I don't know. I don't know any beer companies or breweries that can do this for you, but I'm still willing to partner with you and take on 10, 20% of the profits. Just hit me up. Hit me up, Stone Cold. We can make this happen together somehow, some way, with your connections, with your money, with your WWE. We could get it going. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it wasn't like, oh, well, I was expecting something more sincere than this. Uh, the beer is good. It's good beer. You should check it out at least once and make a judgment for yourself. Though it's not a bad beer. I just was expecting something different out of my boy Stone Cold. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you liked it. If you did, like, comment, subscribe. If you didn't like it, you could still make your opinion known because I think it helps the algorithm. If actually Google whether it helps the algorithm first or not, and if it doesn't, then just shut the fuck up. But if it helps, say whatever the fuck you want. I'll see you guys next time.